have to be looking for something very specific and very special if you want me to MC your meeting. You have to be looking for someone who can energize and re-energize the audience during the day, because my specialty is high-energy audience interactions that bond the audience members together and make them laugh and cheer and prepare them for the learning to come. All of us have all three of those components of our business psyche. Which one is the most developed for you? Send that message out silently to your partner. At the same time, be receptive to what they might be sending you. All right, on the count of three, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll be introducing and supporting the featured speakers all during the meeting. And as the author of 3 popular business books, I'll also be offering some entertaining business-related stories of my own throughout the day. How many times have you heard somebody going like, "Oh man, I've been working like a dog and my boss is working me like a dog"? But the question is, you ever take a moment to notice how your dog does spend his day? I mean, where do we ever get that expression from? Huh? It'd be your lucky day if you could be working like your dog. Huh? And you see, dogs don't seem to know the difference between work and play, because everything is fun to them and everything is new and fresh and like they're seeing it for the first time. Right? I mean, you come home from a hard day at work, as soon as you open the front door, your dog is there in a flash, eyes bright, tail wagging. Every fiber of his being is going like, "You came home! I can't believe you actually came home! This is the most fantastic thing that ever happened to me!" Every day you come home from work, your dog is really excited to see you. But the best thing is, 10 minutes later, you go out to take out the garbage, you come back in the front door, your dog is still really excited to see you. Huh? Wouldn't it be great if you could walk into work first thing in the morning and the people who work with you could be that excited to see you? Right? Well, the thesis of this book is that that can actually happen once you learn the secrets of how to work like your dog. Now, pretty much everything I know about this subject I learned from my standard poodle, Celeste. And she's a good sport, as you can see, right? Now, you know how you sometimes hear people say that people kind of grow, the dog owners kind of grow to look like their dogs? You know, where would anybody ever get an insane idea like that from? Now, see, if you were working like your dog, you'd never be complaining that you hired the wrong people, you got the wrong people on your team, you got the wrong people on your staff, because dogs love the one they're with. Now, dogs are the greatest salespeople of all time. How do we know that? Look at the incredible deal they've cut for themselves. The reason dogs have such a pampered life is that they are totally, 200% customer focused. See, imagine that you're in a conference, you're in a meeting with your top client, your number one client. If you could pay attention to that client the way your dog pays attention to you, right? Your client would leave a meeting with you feeling like a complete genius, because dogs listen deeply, even when they don't understand. A day with me is a day that's going to be fun, but not just for fun. Because all the audience interactions are grounded in team-building exercises that teach basic business principles and help build a learning organization. Next morning, I'm getting ready to go for a run, and I'm stretching against a tree in my front yard, and Bob comes running out of the house. I say, "Bob, thank you so much for inviting me to that party. I had such a good time." He says to me, "Never mind that." He says, "I had a very strange conversation about you with one of the guests." I say, "What?" He says, "Well, one of the women from the neighborhood comes over and she points in your direction and says, 'Bob, can you tell me, what's that man doing here?' And Bob says, I said to her, 'Why, what's wrong? Why shouldn't he be here?' She says, 'Why shouldn't he be here?' That man is my yard man. Bob says, there must be some mistake. I know that man very well. She says, I'm telling you, that man is my yard man. Bob says, listen, I've known that man for more than 10 years. That man is my next door neighbor. She says, that man owns the house next door? I can't believe a yard man could afford a house like that. Bob says, look, I don't know what's going on here, but I do know one thing for certain. That man is not your yard man. 2 weeks later, it's time for my regular appointment. You know, I've hardly gotten out of the car when she is all over me, right? She said, excuse me, she says, Bob tells me you're a management consultant. And I say, well, yes, that's true. She says, he tells me you're a very successful management consultant. And I say, oh, isn't that so sweet of him to be saying things like that about me? She says, well, I don't understand. Why should a successful management consultant have to have a second job as a yard man? So I reminded her when she first called me up, she did not ask if I was a yard man. She asked, was I the man who does yards? Which I most certainly was. First, it was just mine. But now it was both mine and hers. Well, she took like a little step back, like she couldn't believe that she was here. And then she totally lost it. She was laughing. She was laughing so hard she was crying. She was doubled over. I was laughing with her. And then I mowed her lawn. She gave me $35 and I went home. So if there is a moral to that story, I would say it's to say yes to every chance to have fun. And so I want to give you your first really quick chance to have some fun with me right now. So people who were born in the month of January, would you just stand up right now and give a little birthday wave to each other? Looking good? So yeah, all right. We're going to have a little birthday boogie for you guys. Stay standing, Januaries. And here's the way it's going to work. In a few moments, not quite yet, I'm going to ask everybody to stand up, and we're going to put on some music, and people born in January, you're going to start dancing to the music. You're going to dance solo for about 10 seconds, and then you're going to touch somebody else near you, and you're going to unfreeze them. And then they're going to dance along with you, so we'll have twice as many. And then after about 10 seconds, all of you be dancing. All of you are going to touch somebody else and unfreeze them. Pretty soon, we keep doubling the number of people dancing till everybody's dancing in celebration.
Especially first thing in the morning and immediately after lunch, the attendees need the kind of upbeat wake-up call that these interactions can provide. It helps them retain the information from the content speakers. And this is a really fun way to build a learning organization.
I want to do one quick warm-up to get you back from the break. And I am a great believer in people learning to celebrate their own accomplishments. And I'm an even greater believer in people getting to over-celebrate their own accomplishments. So we're going to do a little thing in a group of 3. So would everybody stand up right now, grab yourself 2 partners. You have to be in a group of exactly 3 people for this.
If you're looking for a host for your meeting who can introduce the other speakers during the day, and at the same time who can entertain, inform, and energize the audience. If you're looking for someone who can bring fun and excitement, and most importantly, audience interaction to your meeting, then I'd love to be your MC.
You can do the same thing you did last time, or you can change. But of course, so can your partner. Now, if you did not score match the first time out, this time you may find yourself incredibly tempted to cheat. Don't do that. Just whatever happens, happens on the count of 3. I got a good feeling about this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm.